And of course, today's topic is IRS notice. It's the notices that you don't want to see. You never welcome them, but they just arrive in your mailbox. And some of our people have a habit of collecting them. They just like don't even touch them. They keep them so nice and clean and in the big shoebox. And at one point of time, they will be walking into Community CPA, give us a box of notices with a ribbon on it. So that is the kind of stuff we're seeing. And some people are just really allergic to the notice. And our little webinars today, it just kind of make you understand how these notices are come about. And don't be so terrified. And I'll tell you that the notice, most of the notice come in with a letter C and a P in front of it, like in the IRS. So those are computer generated, computer program generated notice. You may ask me, what does CP stand for? You know what? I couldn't figure out for the heck of me, but I know the CP notice, the CP with a number, those are computerized notice. So might be stand for computer program generated notice or whatever that is. But now you know, right? I give you a new interpretation. Chinglish, C, computer, P, program generated notice. So one of the most often seen notices are mentioned here. So let me share with you. And no responsibility disclaimer, folks. Please take the information you got on internet. We are included. We are giving knowledge on internet platform, and really take responsibility and don't just quote and study. And if you really, really seriously need help, you have us, and we can meet on Zoom. We can meet on Google Meet. We can meet in person, right? But those webinars is really meant for you to get the general knowledge. So now, why you would be notified by IRS? You know, people get notice for a reason, right? You don't just get notice because IRS misses you, right? So you did something to IRS, and that's why they give you a notice. So these are the list reasons for the most common known notices. So number one, you have balance due, you didn't pay. You know, they have a notice. You are due a larger or smaller refund, you know, because they change your dollars. So they tell you, and then, or they have questions on your tax return. Why are you, you know, we like to see, how did you come up with your travel expenses? So that's what, you know, they would ask, right? And then we need to verify your identity. Well, you know, it looks like you're not you, give us, you know, whatever. So that would be a notice. Or they need additional information. This is just the beginning of auditing you, really. And or we change your return, or we did or we need to notify you of delay in processing your return. So like when you don't get your refund, you went on irs.gov, you go, where's my refund, right? You tap in that, it says processing. It's like, wow, I've been seeing that for 8 months already, still processing, are you kidding me? And maybe you have a letter in your mail and you did not open, because you probably should already gotten a letter to tell you that something wrong with your taxes and they're processing. Now, these are the list of common notice I want you to see. Let me move something here. Yeah, so let's go through them really quickly. And I want you to take a screenshot, because so often these are all the notices you will get. That's the most often seen notices at our firm. We have over 10,000 clients. So if we see those notices coming through, that just means these are common ones, okay? CP10, they adjusted your tax return, which impacted you coming year estimated tax. So they send you CP10, says, hey, you know, take this notice and make sure you pay your estimated tax on a different amount, or we made changes to you. So it is not exactly your current year. Of course, your current year changed. That's why you estimate would change for next year, but it is really related to next year. So make sure your CP10, you should be giving that to your tax preparer. All right. CP11, it is a notice of more money. So think about, and whenever if someone says, I got an IRS notice, what we always ask our client, if they don't bring that in, we say, what is the number on the notice? And is that CP what number? So they will say CP 11 without even knowing anything else. We know that the current year tax return actually ended up being changed. There's more tax fees. There's more tax liabilities that you need to pay. So that's CP 11, not very good. I'm just thinking it's like a 2 legs and walking to your door asking for more money. So that's CP 11. CP 23 and the CP 24 are same kind of notice, because they basically tell you that how when you fill up tax return and sometimes you made extension payment or you made estimated tax payment, it need to come in to offset your tax due, right? That number is wrong. The one you put in to offset is wrong. That happens to us quite often, because sometimes when client come to us to do taxes, we say, hey, did you make an estimated tax payment in 2020? Like for this year, for example, when we are doing 2020 tax return, the client will say, oh yeah, I did. I was paying like $5,000 a quarter. I said, okay, that's 20,000. So we put in the 20,000. And then we got CP 23. CP 23 says that you didn't pay 20,000, you only paid 15,000. And so therefore you owe 5,000. So that is the CP 23. But CP 24 is that you put in the wrong number, but you put in 25,000. You didn't do 20,000, so you got more money coming back. So 23 and 24 are kind of twins. You either owe or don't, but it's all caused by your estimated tax payment being wrong. And the 54G, like this is the CP, this is a CP notice, has a letter G, and that is typically identifying non-match from your social and your name. So basically, whatever happened, the Social Security Administration's database does not agree with what IRS was trying to process for you. So this is actually a very serious notice. You don't want that to happen. And also, whoever on your tax return would cause that, it's not just you. Maybe your kid. Maybe you just have a newborn baby, but you have a Social Security number you got from the hospital. They give that to you, but the Social Security Administration didn't update their database yet. And especially if they were born in December and you're doing your taxes in April and Social Security hasn't even get that through yet. So you will get CP 54G. So maybe it's an issue, maybe it is not, but it is related to your Social Security number. So that would be something that you want to take it seriously, right? The CP 161, it is like, how I say the CP 11, like a chopsticks, like 2 legs, right? Walking to you, ask for more money. And the two legs now, in the middle, there is a number 6 that just says that I'm losing my patient. You still didn't pay your balance yet. So it is a notice to you saying that, hey, you already got CP 11. Why are you not paying it? It's CP 161 now, right? So this is a balance due not paid. And so it is not good when you see 11, and also you see 11 coming in with the number 6. So CP 2000 is a matching notice, which means that the IRS says to you that, hey, your tax return doesn't match with what I have in my record. And I received the W-2 from your employer saying that you got paid for $100,000 gross pay, but when you file your taxes, for whatever reason, you only have like $80,000 gross pay. That's wrong, not matching, and give you a notice of CP 2000. And so that is where, where if you want your tax return to go really smoothly and having this data matching to IRS data would be a really good practice. That's what we do in Community CPA. And we actually have been practicing that way for at least 20 years. So it is really a long time tradition. It's what we call our signature process, where we take care of our client to the point that we can literally tell them they won't get any notices. CP notices, it doesn't exist with the client that we work the work, we're matching the data pre-filing the taxes, right? CP 2501, this is income reported, doesn't match to IRS, pretty serious. So income reported just means that your W-2, your interest, your dividend income, and your business income, that doesn't match with IRS record. That's not good. And with computer technology advancing the way we are, folks, do you know that 10 years ago, and this would be a talk, a wish of IRS would do. IRS would say that we wish that we know everybody's income, so we don't have to rely on taxpayer to report. Sometimes they didn't report it accurately or they forgot something. Now, the computer system is so advanced, IRS already know what you have. So there is a proposal on the table that in the near future, folks with W-2 income, with a bank interest income, those folks don't need to file taxes anymore because IRS has your data, they can just file it for you, okay? And so that is where the 2501 is a notice, automated notice saying that your income don't match with mine. IRS is sending to you and making you verify that. You need to run to your tax preparer, to your accountant right away, okay? And of course, CP 2005. This is a letter saying you're good with me. So IRS sent this letter to you saying you're good. And because they probably already sent you CP 2000 saying that, hey, it doesn't match. Then you went back to IRS, goes, of course it does, and here and there and there. And IRS came back with CP 2005, goes high five, and you're good. So that is kind of the most common notices that we see in our practice that taxpayer would come across, okay? And now, let me, where's my key to move? All right, so of course there's other kind of notice, but I want to tell you that the earlier that notice we were talking about right here, and they are computer generated. This is where I want to talk to folks that when you receive a notice, please don't imagine that some IRS officer had already spotted your home and watched you cooking for a couple nights and already know you have a kid and already know one of your kids is really naughty and getting, C from the school. It's not like that, right? So this is computer generated notice meant to be neutral, meant to be fair. So when your tax return got sent it in, that's when these CP notice is gonna start working, and they will be cranking it out based on the situation on your tax return. So that is the things that we say you want to always be in the connection with a CPA firm, with a firm that you can rely on. When notices like that, you don't panic and don't save them as souvenirs because they don't meant to be souvenir. They're time sensitive. So you want to make sure that you get them right away. So here we give you steps that when you receive the letter, what you do? Of course you read. And it's kind of silly we put that on there, but you know what I'm saying, right? We literally, not one, not two, many. We have clients who come in with a shoebox of IRS letter was not even touched, was not even read. And don't be so afraid of those notice. Really, they're computer generated, meant to be fair, and you want to see what they say, right? And I also, on the other hand, and I'm talking to you because you are the taxpayer, you're relying on our service. And here in our firm, what I tell our staff, when we hire new employees coming to our firm, for the first time when they read the IRS letter, I tell my staff that you read from the top left corner to the bottom right corner, every page, front and back, and you read every word for the first time when you receive that kind of notice. So that means it's about 25 kind of letters that you need to read from the left top to the right bottom. And the reason is the letters are all very similar. So once you read one time, you read the second time, and the next time when you read it, you're no longer reading from the left top and right bottom, and you know exactly where to look for that information. This is where it's not because I read fast, no, just because I'm familiar with these letters. So when I receive them, I know exactly which page to look for and which section on the page that is most important. And if that is all the same, that's just the letter I already finished reading it, right? So, but you want to do that. When the matter is your matter, and you're going to take charge, right? Like I said, take charge and don't rely on other people. Read it from head to toes, right? And respond timely. So that is the letter always tell you when need to get back. So that's really important. And I sometimes get those notices from our new client coming in ask for help, but it's already overdue, month, years. And actually, I just got a notice, a client asked for help, and this is out of state client. And the notice they give us is December 25th, 24th, 25th. Don't remember, it's December 2019. And it says that in 30 days they need to pay a certain amount, and in order to be considered for offering compromise, it's not too late. We get notice for 2019. So timely, really important. And if you owe taxes, you pay, right? And if you don't think what you owe is fair, and then you need to work on it, you sitting there, it doesn't help. And so paying it, you have different ways of paying it. IRS debt, I always tell my folks that if you have to owe anybody money, from collection standpoint, the most reasonable collector is the government, is the IRS. So as long as you work out installment agreement, there will be time that IRS even going to come back to you, says, hey, you really don't have a lot of money this year. Let's just give you a year without paying anything. Then we'll come back and reconsider your installment. So that's what the decision the IRS is making. They're trying to be fair, right? So just make sure you work on installment agreement, or you work on OIC, offering compromise, which is to have a discount of the total amount and pay it in full. So that's also another way to do it. And make sure every time you make a payment to IRS, you're going to have a record, right? You're going to keep a record. And please don't say, I remember I paid it, but I couldn't find out how I paid it. Or even saying I paid cash, so I don't have receipt. No, IRS will give you a receipt. I don't think you can pay it in cash unless you go to a local office. I don't even know they receive cash though. So you must have a copy proof of payment. And you can talk to us, if you really just get stressed out. I know there are professionals, psychologists, and the counselors who can help you lower your anxiety. And one of the ways to lower your anxiety related to IRS is to work with people who are not only accountant, but also have common sense in human emotions. So that way you could connect. You could feel like, there are times when I talk to my clients and the end of the conversation, I will say, does that lower your anxiety a lot more? Is this feel better? And so the reason I say that is because I really want to make sure that we don't add any more burdens to our clients, which they already have in their business. So our job is really to take down your anxiety level, make you breathe smoothly, just like doing yoga, right? This is a yoga. This is a finance yoga, and doing taxes and know how to do it right and have no tax burden whatsoever. That is the ultimate goal for yoga exercise. So this slide is talking about the payment. So obviously, I already mentioned about that. Make sure you keep record. And you can also, if you're a business owner, you probably have EFTPS account. You can also pay it through there. And you can also pay it online. IRS allow you to pay it online, pay by credit card with some fees, but still better than not paying it. I would say that as long as you make installment payment, IRS is really reasonable. And I want to mention a couple of important notices, which is not exactly those CP notices I gave you earlier. It is more related to business. It is very often happens in business world. I want you to know that there is an IRS letter called 6217C. When you receive this letter, that means your business identity is in crisis. And remember earlier we gone through the CP 54G. Remember that notice? That was your personal identity in crisis because they can't match your social security with the IRS data. But 6217C is business. So in business, you remember that you get SS4, right? That has your EIN numbers and stuff on there. And they can match your number. They don't know who you are. Your business, it looks like non-documented. So that's really what the 6217C is all about. So make sure you know that one. And then the other one I want to give you is this 25-9. And this is a notice to say that you are required to file a tax return for the tax period. They will tell you which period that is. And that would be indicated on your notice, but they are saying that, hey, we know you need to file. Why are you not filing? So it's a knock on the door, and don't pretend you don't know. They already told you that you're supposed to file. And then maybe you say, well, what happened if I just don't? If you just don't, IRS will file it for you. And there's never a benefit about that, especially in business. When IRS file for you, they only have your income. Because how you spend money, they don't know. Our technology is not yet there, but it will be there. But right now, the IRS just know your income, right? If you have a credit card machine, they got 1099K. And if you got an investment, they got 1099B. And if you, if you had your bank account, they could access to your bank account and to have access to your bank account, basically, if they really want to look at you. So they have access, they have resources. So if they say you need to file, yes, you have income. If you don't file, they just gonna treat your income as 100% taxable without reducing anything. Then your tax bill, of course, is huge, right? So don't do that. When you see CP 259, time to file your taxes, okay? And the CP 261, this one is important because sometimes we have our client come to us, goes, oh, this is my company as an S Corp. Oh, really? Okay, S Corp. So we start preparing everything under S Corp structures and getting everything ready. And then e-file rejected. IRS goes, no such a thing. This company is not a S Corp. So this CP 261 is actually your confirmation of IRS accepted your status. So you always should have that for your tax preparer when you file your 1120S for the first time. So we want to bring that up to you so you know this is an important one. CP 518 business notice. And this is the final reminder notice that IRS still have not had any record of your tax filing. So this is going with the other one where the IRS goes, hey, you better file your taxes. But if you just don't, and you just refuse to, and they will give you the final warning, then there you go. You can have your supplement. You can have your substitute taxes coming up. All right. And so someone asked, what should I do if I have just filed my tax returns? There is an 8 weeks window. We wrote it right here. So let's say you got the 518 notice. It says that, hey, last notice, you better file, but you just filed it within the 8 weeks, then don't do anything because it just takes time for IRS to get your record in place. And so the machine will not crank out that notice for you anymore, okay? And then you probably say, what happened if I can't pay the full amount I owe when I file my return? Still file it. And I know there are people who goes, well, I don't have money. Let's not file my return, okay? I don't have money and I want to get enough money before I can file. You're not going to go to jail for that, okay? If you just owe money and you don't file, you're trying to get money together so you can file. And unless you are purposefully defrauding the tax and knowing that you owe a couple million and you just don't file. But you know, in my practice, I have never met people like that. So I believe that everyone who comes to our firm are very decent individuals, and we all want to do the right thing, right? We all want to be in the good part of IRS, and so they don't bother us, and we do our business and we follow whatever that need to be there. But of course, I also said IRS don't care about you paying tips, right? So even though you go, oh yeah, I like to pay more taxes, let's pay more because I like to give tips to IRS. You know, you don't need to do that. IRS don't care about your tips. You just need to do it right. So if you owe taxes and you still file, so at least you don't get a penalty for late filing, right? And then when you got money, when you file, IRS will give you notice, say, hey, you have balance due. Remember that CPA 11, and it will walk into your door. And then when you got that notice, and you can, on that notice, it will tell you how to make payment. If you cannot make payment, how you can work installment out. If you think you filed the wrong taxes, what you're gonna do. So it gives you all the options you have to deal with the amount due. Then you can set up an installment. If you're really in hardship, you don't even need to pay. Installment will just go on to next year or the following year. And in 10 years, statutory limitation will run off, and the money you owe on taxes, on income taxes, and it will drop. And so it's really, you know, you do your best paying for the next 10 years, okay? And if you still didn't get that finished by the 11th years, as everything is wiped out. So that's where we encourage you that to get your return filed, know your liability, then work to overcome that. It's better than not known, don't you think? Right? So you can always request payment plan from IRS, and or we can help you. So we help a lot of people with that. So our last slide is actually about our 3 p.m. webinars, and you can email Catherine. Catherine helped me to work on the preparation, and I really am so grateful and thankful for her work so that I can you know, and I can polish that better, and I can prepare myself better. So the information, every word I say to you meaning something, and I don't really want you to come here feel like you wasted 30 minutes, right? And so know that our office, we have 3 offices, one in Des Moines, one in Iowa City, and one in Bloomington, Minnesota. And all 3 offices are open Monday to Saturday. So we have 2 shifts going on. And actually, Bloomington is not open on Saturday yet because we are waiting for our new office to be built. And so we can move into a new office, then we open 6 days a week over there. And right now, the building we are in doesn't open on Saturday, so we're not, I don't think we're open on Saturday yet. All right, I think I have a question coming from the attendees here. So I'm going to look at that. Ying, I filed my 2020 1040 in early May with a refund. Today, more than 4 months, and I went inside and they still show a refund is being processed. I did not see a number to call IRS. What should I do? Okay, so this is actually a very a project I just worked on with in our panel to make recommendation to IRS, because we didn't really think it is enough information given to you by saying that, oh, still in process, probably still in process for the last 4 months. You really should be able to get a hold of someone to call. In that website, let me go there with you. Actually, I know that in the IRS website, I'm just gonna go here with you. You can, oh no, you cannot see me. Let me share. You cannot see me, let me share. So I'm here, right? So you are saying that where is get my payment and my refund status. If you come over here, I came here the other time and I was looking for a number because I know that was a question from one other tax preparer, check my status, and to see where we go for the number, refund timing, information, frequently asked questions, amended refund. Let me just see. I'm just going to click refund timing to see whether I can find a number over here. There is an IRS number, I think it's 1-800, and the last four numbers 1040. So that's the most normal ones you call. So I'm coming back to here. Refund information right here. You see that? 1-800-829-4933. Oh, business return information. Just don't think they give you that number really easily. They're trying, they really, in general, they don't want people to call. And because it doesn't resolve anything. But if you call, this is the number you call, okay? 1040 US individual tax refund, call toll free 800-829-4933. And call that number if you need to. And, just giving the fact that the IRS just finished the season for September 15. So that is the extended business tax season. IRS is very busy as well. So if you actually right now, it might be a good chance to call. And once you get into October, it will be busy again because of the new tax rules coming up. And also October 15, the extended tax return time is coming up. So those will make IRS line busy. So try to call them early. And if you're in the Midwest, and call them at 8 o'clock sharp our time, and then then you get in a little faster than you call in the middle of the day. So all right, so this is today, and we are over a little bit, and I hope you learned something, and I'll talk to you again on Saturday. Bye-bye.